There's a dinghy capsized and we are off on a mission to try and go and help them. Yokwe! Oh no, you're broken! You need a tow? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be notified of future episodes.
Good morning!
Good morning, Yokwe!
Ailuk is known as the Lagoon of Sails, and it was a daily event to see multiple local canoes sailing up and down to gather copra and pandanus to bring it back to the main township. These vessels have an easy beam reach when the prevailing wind is blowing and reach up to 10 knots. It turns out that a few of the lads from the village had decided to borrow one of their dad's boats for an afternoon jolly. On the return trip, they managed to get some air and kept going, capsizing near one of the bommies a few hundred metres from where we were anchored. After mustering all the crew from the 5 visiting yachts, we went over to help drag the canoe into the shallows so it could be patched up and returned to the village. Andrew from Offshore Haven had the biggest outboard, and we soon worked out that it was easier for one tow rope to be used. So the other dinghies took crew and a few floating accessories and followed into shallow water.
So these are 2 of the guys from the canoe. Say hello for the camera. Yay! They're a bit wet and a bit cold now. Oh, mission nearly successful. Andrew did a mighty fine job. We're coming up onto a sandbank. We've now floated the sail off. That's over here. Okay, they've got to try and get it back upright again.
After removing the mast and rigging and securing the very heavy outrigger, it was a case of everyone getting underneath and behind the canoe to walk it over to the right side up. Great job all round, and we left the crew with some spare water and a short paddle to the nearest beach.
So yeah, the boys that we rescued yesterday, we couldn't get hold of the village on the VHF or the SSB yesterday evening, so pretty much they spent the night on the island. Uno Mas managed to get hold of a pumpkin on the island this morning, and his attitude was, oh, you towed them to land, great, yeah, we thought they'd spent the night on the reef. So they were very, very laid back about the whole thing. But a longboat went out this morning, and we don't know whether they've taken them some tools or whatever, but it looks like they're sailing down now, so they've managed to fix their canoe, which is brilliant. I'd like to see a lot of kids in the UK and New Zealand go and spend the night on an island on their own with no food. I think they had water, but I don't think they had anything to eat. Hopefully they chopped some coconuts down.
We love the Pacific outrigger canoes, and it's lovely to see them being so well used in lagoons such as Ailuk. It was pretty incredible to see how quickly they were travelling with the temporary repair, and a real testament to the strength of their design. When we were in the village a couple of weeks later, we were pleased to see some more extensive repairs being done as well.
Sunday morning.
Yes,
We're on the move.
we are heading north.
We're not quite sure where.
No, we're going to see what the weather's like. Apparently the wind's going to fall off a little bit later in the week, but we're going to go about 4 miles north. That's pretty much the northern point of the atoll.
Yeah, we'll see if we can see any nice islands on the way up, or we might go all the way to the top. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a couple of anchorages marked on the way, so we'll check them as we go and then make a decision. Pretty fluid today.
A fluid Sunday.
Yes.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Captain on bommy watch on the front.
Managed to miss them so far today anyway.
Yeah, don't speak too soon.
Pretty, isn't it?
Very nice. Just got the head sail out and we are tootling along at a stately 4.5 knots. That'll do us, no engines on.
Sunday sail.
Fair breeze.
Pretty nice.
Anchor down. I'm not quite sure where we are. We're close to the one that sounds like a sneeze. Akachachu Island? Akachu Island?
It's about 3 miles north of where we were.
Yeah, we didn't come very far. We're going to go right up the top and we're like, oh, that looks nice, we'll go in there. So we did, but follow me, because there's a lovely bommy out here that we're going to go and have a snorkel of. But look at that. going to be worth a little look, isn't it?
I think so. Snorkel and possibly a dive.
Yeah, if it drops off like the other ones have done. We're not sure how rolly it's going to be on the high tides, but there's a big tide, I think 1.5, and we're sitting right in front of a cut in the reef, so we might get a bit of roll tonight.
I'm going to go and dive the anchor.
Okay, show us the view that way.
So there's a nice island here, then a cut, and then slightly north. There's actually an island in front here that goes this way, and then there's two small islands here and behind here with a cut to the north of them as well. So we're getting nice ocean water, which is hopefully feeding that bommy, so it should be a spectacular snorkel dive.
I think spectacular might be going a bit far from the coral that we've seen so far on the Marshall Islands, but yeah, some fish would be nice.
It would be, wouldn't it? Nice spot to spend a few days anyway.
Yeah, it's alright.
Just another palm tree and a beach, eh?
See one palm tree, see them all.
These are pretty nice ones.
We got an email yesterday from our friend Lucy in Majuro, and it looks like Fiji is starting to open up its borders slightly, doing what they are going to call their Bula bubble, which means they are accepting visitors from Australia and New Zealand. It now looks like you can go into Fiji and get a cruising permit. There's still a 14-day quarantine in place, but they will take sea time towards 14-day quarantine. We are assuming that because the Marshall Islands are COVID-free, we will be included in the people that they will accept. They're accepting people from Tuvalu, Kiribati and Tonga, and none of those places have got any instances of COVID. So there's a bit of poking around going on, trying to find out what's happening. Because it looks like in the long term we may have to go back to New Zealand this cyclone season. The plan was to drop down to Vanuatu, then come back up and do the Philippines, but Vanuatu is closed. It's all still a little bit up in the air, but it's looking a wee bit more positive now. Like I say, we do have the possibility of going into reprovision in Fiji should we wish to head back to New Zealand. So lots of decisions to be made, but that is the update as of the 23rd of June 2020. That's all I have to report for today.
Jumping off DT to go for a snorkel or dive is an awesome feeling. While snorkeling is a great way to spend a couple of hours, having a dive compressor and going for a dive is where we are happiest. We agree with a fellow cruiser who said that when his compressor was running, it sounded like the sound of freedom. It's certainly very noisy. We're extremely happy to have a dive compressor on board, and its maintenance schedule is not that complicated. Reefs and bommies in the Marshall Islands have been impacted by global warming and bleaching, but there are still things to see if you're patient. Most of the underwater structures are hard fans and plate corals with smaller, colourful reef fish. Chatting with your dive buddy and sharing what critters you see is also a good way to pass the time. How's your day?
My day's been lovely.
Good.
Moved anchorages, had a snorkel. How's your day been?
Yeah, it's good. Snorkel, had a clean of the hull, did a few boat jobs. Yeah.
Well, now it's so beautiful, isn't it?
It's absolutely lovely. This anchorage is very nice.
A little bit sloppy-doppy at the high tide, but they all are.
Yeah. Keep watching that sun go down, eh?
Lovely, eh?
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave us a comment below. If you'd like to support our journey, please head over to our Ko-fi page and buy us a coffee. For real-time updates, please check our Facebook and Instagram pages.